going on, guys? So today we're coming back with another installment of Shikamaru Shinden Mourning Clouds, and man, I gotta tell you, man, this feels like some OG Naruto stuff right here. Like, this was amazing. Like, we're in a situation where you saw it from the title, you saw it from the thumbnail. Shikamaru basically chose violence today. Shikamaru woke up and chose violence. He attacks the 5 Kage. And man, when I tell you, this was some OG Naruto stuff right here. This was amazing. And I gotta say, for those of you guys who stumbled across this video, make sure you go to the homepage. Make sure you check out the Naruto novel section of the actual channel. That way you guys can actually go back and watch the videos that precede this. That way you can have some context. That way you can fully appreciate what's been going on, because the people that have been following these videos, they can tell you, man, this has been like some OG Naruto stuff right here. So now that we got all that out the way, we can kind of jump into today's video. So man, Shikamaru basically chose violence and attacked the 5 Kage, and it's for a very, very solid reason. Now make no mistake here, Shikamaru was about to kill 2 of the Kages, and what leads into the situation is, in the weeks before this, Naruto is given the information from Shikamaru, and he's told, like, look man, Kurotsuki is being strong-armed by the feudal lord of the land of Earth, and basically that feudal lord is saying, you need to attack the land of flowers, and if the hidden cloud village ends up intervening on this, war's just war. I pay the bills, you're gonna do what I say. And so Naruto at this point, upon hearing that there could be war, Naruto and Shikamaru pretty much agreed, like, hey, we need to take these next couple weeks. We need to actually get in touch with Gar. We need to make it clear that the land of wind and the land of fire will not be participating in this war. Maybe we can deter it by actually staying on the sidelines. However, this is the problem with this. Naruto is thinking of 2 things. He's thinking of Neji's death, and he's thinking to himself, I don't want to send my son out there to the battlefield. Boruto's generation is not ready for war, and he says, I do not want my son to actually go through with experiencing the horrors of war just like I did. And so that's a very nice side of what you actually see out of Naruto. But once we get to this actual Kage summit, Naruto just puts it all down on the table. And so when Naruto says, like, Kurotsuki, why the hell are you trying to start war with the land of flowers, knowing damn well that Darui's gonna have to fight on behalf of the land of flowers because of the alliance they have? Do you not care about this peace that we have? And so essentially Kurotsuki stands up to him and says, like, look, I know how we all feel about this alliance, but I have to do what my feudal lord says. The policy of the land of Earth, it doesn't matter what I want. I have to do what my feudal lord says. My feudal lord says, we're invading that country, we're invading that country. And so you have Darui, he just bosses up at this point, right? Like, Darui usually is pretty chill. He's sitting back, observing everything. Shikamaru takes note of that. However, Darui immediately gets up and he goes straight to Kurotsuki, gets in her face and says, like, look, we don't need to actually involve our countries. If you want this smoke, it's all right then. We're gonna have a barbecue. You're gonna get all the smoke you want. I'm gonna put these hands on you. Equal rights, equal lefts, goddammit. However, Kurotsuki comes back at him and says, like, look man, if you defeat me, it changes nothing. If I defeat you, it changes nothing. My feudal lord says that we're going to war, and because we're going to war, that's all it's gonna be. You can't actually stop this from happening. And so Naruto is begging at this point. Naruto's like, look, Kurotsuki, can't you go to the feudal lord of the land of Earth? Can't you try and talk some sense into him? We'll work together and we'll get things solved. That way we don't have to go to war. That way we don't have to break up this alliance right here. Naruto's doing everything he can. He's being very passionate in trying to appeal to Kurotsuki. However, Kurotsuki is under clear orders, because again, for those of you guys who might have forgotten, the ninja villages cannot sustain themselves without the feudal lords. It's always been that way. It's been set up that way by design. The feudal lords call the shots. So Kurotsuki has to actually do so. And so it's during this time where the Kages are silent and they're all thinking about Naruto's words. And it's during this time when the Kage are kind of stuck in silence that Shikamaru strikes. So Shikamaru, while nobody's paying attention to him, Shikamaru starts weaving the hand signs for shadow paralysis jutsu and shadow strangle jutsu. And he puts all 5 Kage under the shadow paralysis jutsu, but he also puts all the bodyguards of the 5 Kage under the shadow strangle jutsu as well. And so, and in particular, he has the Kages from the hidden stone village as well as the hidden mist village under the shadow strangle jutsu. And Shikamaru's talking some mad stuff right here. He's like, look, I will snap your necks if you don't give me the answer I want to hear. So with the scene and context finally being added, we're gonna go directly into the scene. And when I tell you this is amazing, like this is amazing, man. Like this is the type of stuff that I love when it comes to Naruto franchise, the element of surprise and the political element. So it's gonna be here, I'm gonna begin quoting. While the meeting members were held fast by Chojiro's words, Shikamaru wove a hand sign and released his chakra. The first to cry out was the one closest to him, Hokage Naruto. The entire venue was enveloped by Shikamaru's shadow. The 5 Kages, as well as the people who followed them, were unable to move. Not even a finger. Shadow possession jutsu, the first time he used it in a conflict in quite a while. With the sign still held in front of his chin, Shikamaru glared at the 5 Kage as he began to speak. You've all been yammering on without a thought, but haven't you forgotten the key element here? Stop it, Shikamaru! Naruto shouted. Ignoring his friend, Shikamaru said this to his foolish brethren. It's true that Naruto and Sasuke have the power to destroy a country, but they're not the only ninja in Konoha. Even without them, the difference in strength between Konoha and the other villages is overwhelming. And if the head of Konoha, the Hokage, is willing to lay his life on the line to protect this alliance, then we ninja of Konoha will follow after him, even if it means giving up our own lives. We won't allow anyone to disrupt this peace. You got that, Kurosuke, Chojiro? Listen good. If you say you're going to leave, then my shadow will crush your heads, Shikamaru said. His jutsu was perfectly deployed. Kurosuke might have had a kage genkai, but it would be hard for even her to undo the shadow possession jutsu this perfect. If anyone was going to be able to do it, it would have been Naruto, who had the full control of the power of the tailed beast. Kurosuke, Chojiro, do you really intend to go to war with Konoha? Stop this mischief, Shikamaru, Gaara said in an even tone. Out the corner of his eyes, Shikamaru looked into his brother-in-law's eyes, beneath the forehead where the character of love was carved onto his head. I'm serious, Shikamaru said, looking deeply into Gaara's eyes. All the more so. In that case, there's no point in killing Kurosuke and Chojiro here. You know that better than anyone, Gaara said. There is a point. If word gets out that Shikamaru of Konoha disposed of the Tsuchikage and the Mizukage, ninja all over the continent will freeze in place. Everyone will know just how serious Konoha is, and if someone comes at us with their sword drawn anyway, we'll take them on when that time comes. Now, how about it, Kurosuke, Chojiro? There's one answer here. Yes or no? Tell me now. A groan slipped out between Kurosuke's gritted pearly teeth. An inky black snake twined itself around the Tsuchikage's pale, slender neck. Her eyes glittered dangerously. Do you understand what you're doing? Kurosuke said. Chakra gushed from the entire body of the Tsuchikage. Things were getting dicey. Stop it! Naruto shouted, sounding angrier than he sounded all day. The Hokage's back burned a golden color. Shikamaru turned his head to look at him. The flames of battle burned in Naruto's eyes. The shadow that covered the room turned into a black glass and shattered. Stop it, Shikamaru! Naruto shouted once again. A fierce blow came into contact with his cheek, and Shikamaru fell to the floor. What are you even doing? What is crushing us going to accomplish? Naruto yanked him up from his collar. Shikamaru, motionless, said nothing. He averted his eyes. Naruto tossed him aside before bowing his head so deeply toward the other Kages that he almost scraped it on the ground. Sorry, he's not the kind of guy to do this type of thing like this. I'm really gonna let him have it later. Forgive him, please. Kurosuke stood up. So, this is how Konoha does things when they don't get their way, Kurosuke said. No, Naruto protested. As long as I'm around, I won't let anything upset our peace. Nothing, so please, talk to the Daimyo of the Land of Earth one more time about the Land of Flowers, Kurosuke. I'll get some serious thought on the Konoha secrets. I want to come up with something that you can be happy with. We can't have another war, not ever again. Naruto shouted. I believe you, but I don't know about the next Hokage. Someday, Konoha is going to be a threat to us, Kurosuke said, then left. Chojiro followed her out the room. End quote. So I want you guys to pay very close attention to something. So look at how Kurosuke said, I believe you, but I don't know about the next Hokage. Now, those of you guys who read the manga, you already know what she's referring to. Shikamaru is next up for Hokage. If anything happens to Naruto, there are two 8th Hokage candidates. You have Shikamaru and then you have Sakura. Based on what happens in the manga with the Boro arc, which by the time you guys are actually seeing this, Boro versus Team 7 should have already happened, which means that you've already seen Shikamaru take charge and Shikamaru say that he's running things in the absence of Naruto. Shikamaru will be the next Hokage in this situation. And so Kurosuke is well aware of that. Shikamaru was on the Shinobi Union, just like the rest of them. The only reason why Shikamaru was not made into Hokage is that it was pretty much universally accepted. Naruto was going to be the Hokage once he underwent all the preparation that Kakashi, Tsunade, and Shikamaru had to put him under. Everyone else that was on that board has been moved into a Kage position, and then the others have been made Kage candidates waiting in the wings. People like Amoy, people like Kankuro, those are the Kage candidates of their actual village. So the reason why that's so important is she knows what Shikamaru is capable of doing there. And Shikamaru made the threat. Shikamaru says, yeah, Naruto and Sasuke by themselves can destroy an entire country. However, you guys are forgetting something. Konoha, the difference in skill between Konoha and all these other nations is so great. We can take down every one of you. If you want this smoke, I'm about to grill up some ribs and some barbecue and some baked beans and everything, some coleslaw for you. You want to make some curry potato salad with golden raisins and some curry powder? You can have at it. Matter of fact, you can put apples in potato salad. That's something like you feel like, I got something for everybody who want this smoke right here. And what Shikamaru says is that you see how passionate Naruto is trying to stop this? If it means that we need to start killing people to preserve the peace, I have no problem doing so. And what you're seeing here is that Naruto is essentially the good cop. Shikamaru is the bad cop. This is what Hiruzen and Danzo should have been. Hiruzen should have been the one trying to make peace, and Danzo's the one that if things break down, Danzo needs to be the bad cop. And so you're seeing that dynamic play out here, but what I really like in this moment is how Shikamaru, yes, he caught the other Kages off guard, but none of them outside of Naruto could actually break out of it. However, it should be worth noting, Kurosuke was pumping out so much chakra that her chakra was actually visible out of her body at this point, which means that she stood a chance of breaking out of Shikamaru's jutsu. However, the important thing is that the moment that Shikamaru wrapped that snake around Kurosuke and Chojiro's neck, the moment that happened and he started threatening and start snapping their necks, Naruto stopped all the games. Naruto, there's a line in there. There's gold at Naruto's back. Naruto went right into his chakra mode and he rails Shikamaru, knocks him clean out and says, what the hell are you doing, dude? You cannot kill them under any circumstances. I like that. I like that right there because it shows you how dire the actual situation is. So my question to you guys is, number one, how impressive was it that Shikamaru was able to actually do that? And then the second question I have for you guys is, if there was a war that broke out between the 5 great nations and Konoha had to pick sides, what nation could actually test Konoha in power? Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.